Thank you.
Good morning and good noon, this country, US. Okay, today we are going to learn the characters for artist name, Qi Baishi, because I know in Henry, my husband's class, he is also teaching the Qi Baishi style painting. And we can write like the homage to Qi Baishi on that. I mean, each piece when you do that. And the character not very hard. For Qi, the last name, we have very rare case to use it. But for writing characters to say homage to blah blah blah, better shows more respect. You include the last name, right? Not just the first name, Baishi, right? Sometimes he writes the I mean. Baishi, like Baishi, an older person or people call it, but not just Baishi, right? Himself, when he does the signature, do that. So that's why we learn Qi here. And Shi, the stone rock, we learned before, I guess, as a review this time. Okay, that's just a start because lots of things we need to. Oh, by the way, I forgot to write on the handout. You go get the a piece of absorbent paper. Yeah, Emily, you are right. Emily, you are right. Just in time. Yeah, get a piece of paper towel or even tissue for later when we do the shrimp. Okay, yeah, you can get later, or you can some very absorbent need to be because normally our waste paper of painting like semi-sized is not absorbent enough. We need to get rid of the extra ink normally. Even the expert do that. Okay, let's start with the characters. The Qi, a little bit hard, right? A little bit hard. Okay, let's just bring it down, and from the standard size, we will understand. And in our calligraphy class, that's our routine to do the stroke by stroke and 4 styles characters. That you actually understand more and have more choice to do different style. So this can be right. I mean, 2 meanings. One is like together, and we have other words for together, even used more often. But here is the last name, so 2 meanings at least. Okay. This is kind of left and right things and the top and the bottom things together. So many strokes. Okay, bring it down. Dot first, top, right? And then horizontal. Quite long, kind of the roof thing, right? To like to cover the whole thing. And then do the you think about the center things of the like a Y. Look at that, a little bit like the Y things. So do not think just the 2 dots. Okay, do the Y things, center things. But you know, it's calligraphy. So 2 dots, and then like small vertical and kind of the hook. Do these Y things first in center, and then left. Right. And then like 2 vertical, 2 horizontal. Okay, but the first left vertical a little actually is a slant, but this case a little bit vertical help you to remember. Slant and right slant first, and then center two horizontal things. So this order, remember, because later will help you to do the faster one, walking or the cursive. In my one, I think the bottom thing is a little bit too small, right? Need to be a little bit, wider to have the looking of holding the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so look at the sample and you do the better one. Okay, the order will be kind of the same, and the walking class a little bit, walking style. First things, dot and horizontal, always very clear, this case, because something's underneath then, right? Make it vertical looking. But first, this stroke, shows this is the stroke, the characters. So I'll keep this part very clear, but you can do faster, right? Because it's a walking study. The Y things more connect, right? But the Y things first. And the calligraphy stroke, of course, two dots, you do like that, Y things. Yeah. And then left things more connect, kind of the stroke like that is common. Okay, so I will show this. This become Okay, so left become and the right things before is like that, right? Become change the order, kind of become, but very common. You will see other places. It's like that. Look at because start with other strokes need to back here. So a little bit of things like a lifting, like a trace of lifting shows the dynamic things, but do not concentrate on purpose to do that hook thing. Yeah, just like a press and lift, ready to go, and to the direction of where you need to work. Okay, so and what am I going to work? Okay, I said two vertical and two horizontal, connect like the number two. Okay, that's the walking style. Cursive style changed a lot. Actually, very easy. I don't know how many chances you want to do that. Dot and the horizontal at first, very clear that you remind you this is these characters, right? This, right? And then like a big one first, hunchback, and back to the center, do the kind of the M things, a little bit across at the end. Okay, so do this first, and then back to the center, do the kind of the M-like things. Yeah, mine went a little bit too loose here. You understand that will be good. Actually, I will say the walking, the walking style more practical and recognizable. I'll show you very interesting things. What the 齐白石 Qibaishi himself to do the walking style. What he does is more like, even easier than this. What he does is like the dot and the horizontal, that's the same, right? And then very quick, Y in the center, Y in the center. And then very interesting things. He does like the something left and something right and connect. What's left? What's left? What he does is like the number 2, number 2 at the left and connect and become like the lightning on the right. That's it. Yeah, like a lightning, that some S shape, but lightning things there. And then, 2 vertical, 2 horizontal. But he does kind of the stylish and, his style, like, like something like that. Because we talked about, he's also very major working of the carpenter, and later you use knife, and then later on he is very, very good seal carving artist. So he does the walking style. It's like using knife. I'll show you some. This is the book I copied some for our study today. And this Professor Rao, we have this book, but I will copy to you in the class we are using. Professor Rao, she is the people we met, and we know her. She is also the expert of studied Qibaishi's learning, and she is a professor writing book and teach how to do the Qibaishi style. Lots of analyze things and bring it down some things. Look at she also used Qibaishi's painting. I think I give you the handout. Look at this. This is Qibaishi's walking style. See, I said 1 dot and 1 horizontal and the Y, and the Y, the letter Y, big letter Y in center. And he does just something left and the right. So left is more like a number 2, right? And the right is like the the flashing and the lightning, the storming day, the lightning, like a S. So number 2 and the S, that's it. And the bottom, bottom things like the two vertical, with a hook, or some place not very obvious hook, and the two horizontal, 2 vertical, just that. But that's continue to the clerical style. Practically, actually, when we write homage to artist, the master, right? We want something, how to say, explain, more like a serious attitude, shows more respect, right? Either standard style or even the clerical style. I will strongly suggest doing that, because his signature himself for his painting, he used the walking or cursive style, right, for his signature. But when we write homage to the master, the artist of blah blah, I don't think you use very, like a cursive style or walking style shows kind of I don't know, you understand? Probably shows, yeah, clerical shows more dignified and serious looking of our attitude, I don't know, just my suggestion probably. Okay, the clerical style, dot, carving mood, okay, dot. And then horizontal, carving mood, okay, plowing power. And then Y shape kind of stay the same thing, but though, you can, sometimes you can reverse the order of the stroke, for carving. Not that much lifting and pressing, right? And did you see this style, left and right, are kind of the same things? Yeah. The small goose tail flying doesn't have to show that much different. You make it a little bit different, handmade, right? And this vertical, a little bit, smaller, and the right one a little bit bigger, and a little bit actually to the right. Shows when you like this constructing things, you make this a little bit, this way, right? Shows more stable instead of things like that. And then the two horizontal things. It's not hard at all, right? Okay, you press more, can improve it. Yeah, this one, I think the horizontal one a little bit too short. Too small. Okay, you make this a little bit stronger. Okay, let's move to the white. Did we learn the white? I think once his name he chose actually is the like a thing like the pseudonym, like pen name, pseudonym, but we can also use the characters for other things for both white and the stone or rock, right? So for white, we say where we use it. We say, do you say white clouds? We say, yeah, blue sky, white clouds. Oh, what a beautiful sunny day. Okay, so white actually is the center one is the character for sun, right? This is the sun, right? We learned that, right? So when we okay, do you also say so when you write this top slant, small slant, shorter than the horizontal, okay, and then just the sun from left to right and from right to from top to down, and the center one, and then seal it. The right one's stronger. The standard. What's that? Have you ever remember? We learned this. Sky, remember that? Sky, sky. So do you see, guess what's the meaning?
Clear sky or?
Yeah.
Daytime.
In Chinese, we say white day. It means what? Means daytime. White day, black night. We call black night. So both with this meaning anyway. Okay, standard style. And then let's move to walking style. See, basically the same and a little free on the style, bring it to more stylish, right? For the sun part, starting at not the same point, more, more same order. Okay. Actually, doesn't matter where this come from. To higher, or even some people do actually lower will be okay. Here, fine, yeah. Press. It's walking. And actually, sometimes you do semi walking and running. I think I always said the not that very strict for line border there, because when you do things, the real things, what's the walking, what's the running, sometimes. But this case, I on purpose choose the different style kind of. Let's do some that kind of a practice for that. So the slant become, lots of rhythm there, become like a dot, right? And then you lift the brush, but let it connect, become the pause. So pause for the dot, and then lift and pause here, and kind of lift again, and pause again here to do the things back to the center, and then cross a little bit. We talked about even sometimes the circle looking like in the cursive style, right? That's why it's called cursive style for the faster thing. But for the art, this is art. The calligraphy need to be some things not very smooth, perfect, rainbow shaped curve, rounded. Should be something squarish circle. So that's why we call running style. And we practice it, we learn it from standard style. We know, see, look at the sample, very clear. Press here with some rhythm, right? Shows more rhythm. Lift, and here, instead of a perfect round, just the circle. No, not this case. It press, because we know that's the starting turning place of the vertical from the standard style, right? So give some rhythm points there. Do the rhythm here, a little bit of pause here. And then back to the center, kind of circle here. See, even the last circle, you go a little bit, some pause here, shows a little bit, squarish circle. That's why we call it. Yeah, I just bring it to the point, and you can look at the sample, and that's why we call read the sample, read the copybook. You understand the meaning, right? Okay. And then very easy, we can guess what's for the clerical style, because it's carving mood, straighten your brush, and it become the plowing, force, flat, right? Very flat, the whole shape. Okay, dot, short, because on the hard surface, and conceal the tip. Stroke by stroke, horizontal. Start another stroke, not just the turning part. Okay, clerical style. Rock, we learned already. I couldn't even remember, did we learn the clerical style or not yet? Anyway, we reviewed today. And actually I choose from probably different sample. Okay, standard stuff. These basically need to understand, some small, less strokes looks easy to mimic, but actually to make it beautiful sometimes is hard for less stroke things because you have less chance to work on. Okay, the top one, and then a square shows a little bit like the bigger rock there, right? But okay, not too big, not too small. Okay, first standard style, horizontal. Doesn't want to be too long, okay, because you want to show the very dignified, very stable of the square rock thing, okay. And then the slant from the center a little bit to the right, and then because later need to be the left, right? Then the rock, the square things, but a little bit trapezoid things with the small, bigger shoulder part and the tip down a little bit. Normally we write the mouth shape square like that, right? So the first vertical like that, and doesn't have to touch. Yeah, that's about the writing. So you do not want this too big, will cause the center too empty, right? Too weak. And you do not want too small to make the whole thing, the square things too small, like a little rock. Here you want to show like the base things, right? So, and the walking style almost the same, but shows directly connect from horizontal to the slant. And then the mouth square things like 12, right? That's common, we learned a lot. So this and directly to that and that, 12 things. Still very stable looking, right? Okay. And this one, not that much different, right? Between the walking and the running, but I think last time for the rock we choose other style. For the square things, you can write like the same paper. You can write like the this stay the same, right? And the mouth things can be very simple, just like the two dots, right? Like two dots. But this style, if with the context of the, context before and after, with the meaning, you will know this is the rock. But this style with two dots indicated the mouth. This style very like the meaning. The way to write no. We have the other characters like the no, the meaning of no, the boo. Probably you have know that the meaning of a boo. No, like the Halloween boo. The pronunciation, yeah, it's very alike that, very alike that. So try to avoid this kind of the style to write the squarish, more, square looking, instead of 2 dots. I will suggest like the 12 looking things. I mean, with these things, with the horizontal things to close it. So choose this style. Do not that much different, but more connect probably. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, stay with the semi-walking and the running, instead of got misunderstood of the boom things. Okay, and this wool is really like a rock, right? Looks very small, the mouth, the square things, right? But think about the whole thing, look at the whole thing. It put this corner, something there, connect, right? So we want things stay even smaller, this side, to occupy things this corner, right? So diagonal, balanced, even small, looks, whole things stable. Understand what I'm talking about? Yes, because see this corner, I mean left to right, very solid, right? And we only occupy this right bottom, very solid. So made the whole thing solid, right? Solid. And what Qi Baishi does, his name signature, the rock, is like a very interesting. It's like semi between walking and it's walking style, but he uses it very like the stylish, like the clerical style. Let me see if I can find. He always does. Here he's white, sun and the slant on top, and here is the stone, the rock. You cannot really see it's but the way, the force to use for his walking style is like carving. He always does that. See his subject matter to that, and the crab things. Anyway, very interesting. Like he wrote it the walking style for the order or for everything, but he treated to deal with the brush as the knife. Do things like sometimes he does. Sometimes he does that. What I mean? Yeah, and sometimes he does the circle things like the circle things. That's my rock. Anyway, I just explain. You will see that, and you can go to the so far I think we finished the characters, right? And we are going to start our Qi Baishi's shrimp study. Today, I think it's I appreciate we got the Professor Rao's this book for us to study the shrimp. And later, today we are only do the study of the whole the structure of that, how many strokes of that. And later, for the composition of this, you go Google image to check. Even you put just English, put the pinyin, the phonetic system, the writing of the 齐白石. You cannot even write the characters. 齐白石 ink shrimp. 齐白石 ink shrimp. It will pop whole bunch of his ink shrimp painting. 齐白石 ink shrimp. Yeah, do not put any color things. Ink shrimp. He sometimes with the number, but in Chinese, 70 白石, 白石 73 painting of shrimp, 84 painted shrimp, and 94 painted shrimp. Very good, masterpiece of 94 painting of shrimp. I know Henry is teaching some of 齐白石's painting. And I know in his plan, his schedule, no shrimp there. And all the shrimp stroke is our calligraphy stroke. So why not we use in our calligraphy class. And also, actually, you know what? I'm not pick the things they left or they are missing. The most important, most famous 齐白石 painting is what? You know that? Shrimp. Ink shrimp. Like everybody know, if you know 齐白石, oh, what's 齐白石? Oh, I know the shrimp painter, right? The shrimp painter. Like we know, other artists on our Marie's color. You all have seen that, right? Marie's color. The artists. Oh, what's the Xu Beihong? Oh, I know the horse painter. So what 齐白石? Oh, the shrimp painter. The shrimp painter we know. Okay. By the way, why he paints shrimp? Okay. The big subject of the 齐白石's 齐白石 become 齐白石. One of his signature lines, his feature is to paint everything. It's like common people knows. For the veggie, for the fruits, for everything. Probably people do not think is very elegant. We say it's very close to the common people. We'll see that in the common life. The example mentioned in Professor Rao's study is, so two things 齐白石 things is painting is even very you think it's very trivial things, even like the some insects or even fly. No people do that. So everything shrimp. And also that's one. Okay, rats, mosquito, he does. That's one side of the subject matter he choose. Very common people thinking, working class or whatever, not the literary thing. For the subject matter, everything he can paint and he choose. Also, the other signature, other features of his painting is his brush, his stroke, his technique, which means his painting skill is very, very artist, very, very literati. Okay, like a two ends, two things. Common people, very, very common, even can be considered very trivial things, which means everything you can do by very literary trained style. Okay. Okay, that's a start. That's a start. You got the handout, right? You got the handout. I think first probably you want to try the semi-style, semi-sized paper. I got, unsized, I don't know, because it needs some speed when you got fluent and then you try the faster. You tried, I also suggest you to try the raw paper, light ink. Okay, if you got chance, our demo and speak slow to explain, and then if you got time, you better because in Chinese the handout, the Professor Raw's book, and you can write some things for the step, some crucial words for the step of this page. You understand me? Because it later makes more sense to you. Looks simple, but very just ink. And we try to learn the principle of divide ink in 5 like gradations, light and darker things. Okay. Step 1. Step 1, light ink. Light ink to do the center for the head. Actually, we call it chest. We call the tail part, we call body part. So the whole part, this part we call chest. We call chest or head part, this part. Understand? So basically 2 parts, right? 2 parts, this body part, and very end we call it tail, this body part, and this is head and the chest part. Okay, okay. Very first step, light ink, center brush. Do the, I do bigger. Okay, press. Do the spear. Do the center spear for him. Center. That's the first step. And then continue to do 2/3 place, to do the 2 sides for the whole shape of the chest part. This part the bottom part a little bit open, and the 2 sides easy to remember, but do not very scientifically, symmetrical. right? You need two sides and leave this part a little bit, this part a little bit short, this bit a little bit opened. And then for the fourth step, do two small balancing like a bone or share to do this part beside the center spear. Do this part. Understand? Yeah, you need to control the spearing or the size, you know. And then so far is the straighten your brush, right? We call center bristle. And then become side from the fifth step, become side brush to do the body part. Body part totally 5 to 6 sections. Become smaller and smaller. Okay, from the fifth step, we start the body shape. Side brush. Okay, side brush. And you do not want to connect. You want to leave a little space to the head, to the chest part. Understand? And then you do things side brush to do the first one a little bit bigger, right? And then leave a little part, a little bit, or you know, actually paper will will remember it, will record it. You do not have to do very clear lifting. Start other section. And then third. Okay, let's stop with the third. First, third. The third one, a little bit, tape down and then tape down. At the third place, you try to think about the curve peak, you know, for the body. And then you kind of, you make it the curvy, change the direction, right? Okay, and then after three section of that, the body part, you perpendicular brush more. You know, you want to make the smaller section because tape down, right? More straight your brush. You know, this part, less flash or more boning, more shear, more harder, right? So you lift your brush to make the last three. And you tape it down actually. So means become, you know, smaller. The fourth one, the fifth one, and then the sixth one, very small. Even sometimes Chibesh does only 5. To make it smaller and less meat, less flesh, more bony looking, by more straighten your brush. You know, we know that, straighten your brush. Okay, then continue to do straighten your brush even more, to do very hard for the tail, center tail. And there are like 2 wings to do the other strokes, help the tail. 1, 2. Understand? So the total body shape, Qi decide 9 strokes. 9 strokes. 3 for the real tail tip. and the tip, and the 5 to 6 for the body part. But first three, and then you turn tip down. First three bigger, and then become, change the direction and make the curve. Look at the sample. And when the starting place, do not touch the head part. Do not touch, leave a little bit that. That's also the principle we talked about when we do bird. 2 eggs, head and body part, do not touch it. Finish the head part, think about the one small egg and the big part of the body part. Let that part, the neck part, become like a twistable, more vivid. You can change the direction. Understand? Yes. Okay. And now we are going to change some things to the 7. Start the 7 the step. Get the, so far as I didn't change, to get more any ink change, right? So far, get the dark ink. First, we talk about the light ink, right? Get the absolute dark ink. Let it just halfway dry. Do something kind of the repeat on the first stroke of the center spear we talked about to indicate something, the shrimp, something inside, things. Smear a little bit. If too much, use the paper towel to do that. Let it smear a little bit. We do not want very stiff, totally dry. And then behind the balancing shell things, these 2 like the horn things, beside that and under that, do the 2 eye horizontally. That's Qi Bai Shi style, very Qi Bai Shi style. He himself had the shrimp with like the pets. He watched them every day, and he found when shrimp got very alert, its eye like horizontally pop out. So he do his painting of this shrimp, kind of the perpendicular and with very dark eye, this style. Instead of, stick on that very close to the body part, pop out. So dark ink after center things, add on, and you do this horizontal stroke, and with a little bit pause at the end. Dark ink. Other way to do. Pause, make a little bit of dots like at the end. So very clear eye, Qi Bai Shi style. Yeah. Look at the whole painting of the shrimp painting. See, no matter what's the direction, what's anything else we talk about in a painting. So the darkest place is the eye, eye. So end of the dry place won't get the smearing, and you pause a little bit, make it at the end a little bit, like a rounded eye pop up, very alert. So darkest place in the painting. Okay, and then so far we are doing the dark ink, right, for the center add-on part and the eye, right? And then, you know, what do you do? Change the brush, I mean, the way to do the pincers. Did I pronounce, you understand the pincers? Yeah.
Pincers.
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 Pincers. You know, for the shrimp or lobster, the pincers is very powerful. So the Professor Raw does right, use clerical style mood, clerical style stroke to do this pincers, okay? Okay, so these pincers with three sections, okay? First kind of the back, from the center of the shell of the chest, from center, go back, and then second section longer to go forward. Yeah, are you using clerical style right now? Because it's very powerful. You know, the second section longer. And then third one, a little bit thicker by pressing. Okay, look at me. The third one become, you press more, become wider, right? And then you along one side lift it to make these things. And then the other stroke to do the other piece, you know, even cross is totally together. So cross or not. You understand when we do like the, remember we do the what do I say? The golden fish, you press, golden fish tail, right? You press, and along one side to do a little bit. Understand? So that's what we work on the last section. You press and along one side to do that, and then you do the other things or leave it open. Understand what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's the last stroke. Even, you know, do the lobster things, you can go the wider. Okay, and the other side, the same things, but you do not have to do exactly symmetrical, right? Longer for the second direction, and the larger for this one, and you do a little bit that, you know, something like that, touch or untouch. Okay, and then after that, you still have some dark ink, right? Dark ink. Do 5 pairs of the foot, 5 pairs of the feet, but only one side, the body part, the section by section part. This need to be powerful because it's for swimming. 5 pairs. You know, the direction doesn't matter. You know, some small hooks there, The direction kind of complicated when they're swimming. You know, even for the horse or for the, for our dog. I used to have the dog and I walk him every day. I never figure out what's the direction of a four legs, or even for the horse during the walking or running. The back end, the toes and the back things. So it doesn't matter, but need to be powerful things. 5 feet, but only one side. And then 3 from the chest part, like the straight, like very straight things. 3 pair, but only one side. Do one side. 1, 2, 3 things. Look at the sample of the number 9. 9 steps. Yeah. 3 very shady, very like meaning writing things for the 3 very thin. Okay, now change the brush. Use whisk brush to do whisk. You want it very because I will strongly suggest the red whisk brush to do. You want the whisk very powerful, but very thin. You do not want the very soft things. This red whisk brush, almost non-absorbent. It cannot do. If you press that, it becomes those things, and no, it's impossible to make even the wider strokes. Okay, so wet it first. Always wet it first. Any brush to do things, wet it first. If you worry about too light ink, after wet it, and you dry it like the paper towel. You use paper towel. So otherwise, I don't know. I mean, for somebody's homework, it's timeline I need to do very fast. 3 pairs of whisk. I won't say if a dry brush won't show too much flying white. Okay, 3 pairs. First pair from the balancing shell. Towards, first pair towards, but a little bit like the open direction, like that. Can you see that? A little bit open direction. Yeah, and the second pair is from a little bit around eye. Back. 2 sides, back. But kind of straight. And the third pair is kind of crossing like we do the orchids. But you do the third pair a little bit like the weaving things with the beautiful floating. I will do the more ink one to show you the third pair. The first pair you do a little bit like the open, towards open, right? And the second pair you do some straight but back, and the third pair you do beautiful like the open and cross and things, open cross like things waving. Shouldn't be that but I want to show you clear for those 3 pairs. Okay, so the third pair is to very, can swing. But the way to swing like that. Okay, and then actually when you do, we do not touch 2 parts, right? When you do this dark part, actually you can do a little bit like that, end of a little bit dry ink, dark ink to do that, shows more connection. Look at the sample, what Professor Raw does. Okay, so that's about how much you want for the shrimp, and if on the unsized paper, what I does is I didn't even use this paper, so a lot smeared, and you do kind of very quick. But actually, eventually, you want some smearing. It's beautiful if you can control it. And also the trick of Qi Bai Shi does is look at the painting I copied to, I give you on the handout. The part of a little bit smeary and a little bit semi to show the semi-transparent. He used the leftover from yesterday leftover ink to do to have this the center things ink and runs a little bit two sides or around with lighter things shows the semi transparent things for that. Okay, so next class we'll continue to do more things, and this time you can try to do more remember the point I explained step by step, and what kind of the stroke, and to do the practice and see if you can do different direction of that. And later on, of course, we can add a little bit blue-gray color or the green-gray color for the beauty. And also, but do not mind the whole ink things with the gradation. We can use like Qi Bai Shi use the lotus flower to give it some the color, lotus flower, and or use the wisteria, the purple thing, to give it a little bit of color, or some water grass, the green, to give it a little bit of color. But you can also do a little bit of the coral pink to show somewhere, later work on but need to transparent. Do not do the totally red or orange color. That will be in your dish, the cooked shrimp. This is the vivid things as pads, things. Okay, happy practicing and teasing, and we'll do more certainly for the whole composition of things next time for the Qi Bai Shi style.